Hey guys, so I'm Nathan with the eBookReader.com. For this video, I'm going to show you guys KOReader on the Kobo Aura 1. So this can be installed like on any Kobo e-reader. It's an alternate program. You just got to do a few different things. I'll put the directions under the video, the link to the directions. It's really easy to install, and then once you get it installed, you can have a competent PDF reader here on the Kobo Aura 1. So it works quite well actually for PDFs. It also supports some other formats. But Kobo's devices, they have really poor PDF support by default, so I wanted to try out this KOReader app, and it does increase the functionality of PDFs quite a bit. You got some different zooming options. There's all these different settings up here. So there's like this menu bar at the top. You've got all these different options. It's like a full-fledged reader program. It's open source. You can download it online. It's available for other devices as well. So let's go ahead and talk about the lower menu down here first. So you have the different option to change between portrait and landscape mode, and it does work quite well in landscape mode. I'm going to go ahead and zoom it in here. If you do the pinch zoom motion, it'll go to automatically fit it to width, so it does fit really nicely. In landscape mode, it's easy to read that way, so that's probably the way I would use it the most. It does work quite well that way. So as you can see, it turns pages pretty good. One problem though is sort of like with the menus in KOReader, you can't actually access like some of the lower menus sometimes because the top one's too big, so you got to go to a smaller one. Then it makes the lower menu to go away, so you got to tap it again, then bring the menu up. So just a couple of things you got to work with once you get used to using it. So let's go ahead and talk about some of these other features here. So there's also the cropping option down here. You've got the manual cropping, then there's the auto crop. So if you do the manual option, you have these like lines that you can adjust how you want it to zoom in. So if you like tap, you can sort of adjust where the parameters of the lines will be. So then you can customize exactly where you want it to zoom in, and then hit OK, and it'll zoom in right there. So you can change how it works, and then it kind of just seems to work with this one page, which is kind of weird. But you can sort of change how these different things flow in here. So if you use auto, it basically just goes to like it'll remove the margins, kind of fit to width, the content, and there's also semi-auto. So over here we have the option for scroll mode. Once you turn that on, then you can like scroll instead of just like paging normally. You can scroll from like top to bottom here. So the ink screen, it's not as optimized like as it is on I've seen on other e-readers where scrolling is a little bit smoother. So it is kind of a little rough, but it does work that way. I kind of like it better with scroll mode off, just because then it stays directly on the page instead of having any overlap. Yeah, and then there's also like the reflow feature. Sort of varies depending on your PDF you're using. Sometimes it works better than others. Then you can like go in here and control the font size, since it's like reflowing the PDF. So it kind of does some strange things. Sometimes, I don't know, it just sort of depends on the PDF you're using. But you know, it's just one of those things that varies. But it does come in handy if you just want to increase the font size and read it that way. So another thing on down here is you have the boldness. This is nice. It makes the so by default it's pretty light, and then with it on, you can have the text be quite a bit darker with the boldness option on, or the dark contrast option. So let's talk about some of these top menus. So we've got like the table of contents in here. You can jump around the parts of your book using the table of contents, and then you've also got like you can go to page. We've got bookmarks. So yeah, if you want to enter a specific page number, you can jump to specific pages that way. And then if you want to go back, you can swipe back, or there's some different options for go back. You up here in the follow links, like if you want to swipe to go back, I have it set to swipe to go back. So if we hit this hyperlink right here, it'll work. It'll take us to that page, and then you can swipe to go back, and it'll take you back to that page instead of having to find it again. So some of the other options in here, there's this page overlap setting. We've also got the zooming modes, the different zooming modes. So you got the fit to width, the fit to height. So the fit to width is usually, then you got like the fit to content width. So we've also got the different highlight modes, or you can have like the text lighten, or you can have it underlined or inverted. So some different options in here. So yeah, it's a pretty complex app. I mean, it's got a lot of features. Definitely has a lot more PDF features than the Kobo app. So you can adjust the front light in here, but you can't like adjust the front light temperature. So with the Aura 1, it has that different front light temperature, but you can't adjust that within KOReader. You just have the different brightness. And you can also swipe on the side of the screen. We've also got night mode, which is pretty cool. You know, you get the inverted color there with the white text. It also inverts the images. So yeah, that's kind of a cool option to have on there. You don't have to install a patch or anything, it just works with it. You got the different options here for the e-ink screen. You can like set the different page refresh settings if you don't want it to refresh fully as often. You can also, you know, change the screensaver option. So there's a status bar at the bottom. You can see like that line at the bottom of the page. You can, or the progress bar, you can get rid of that as well. So you got the different options for your visual display. So there's also some other stuff in here. You know, there's like Evernote export. There's some other highlighting utility you can use as well. So there's different gestures and a lot of different settings in here. So there's also search, Wikipedia lookup. So you can install different dictionaries. I don't have any dictionaries installed at the moment, but it has some directions for doing that. You can run text searches, and then you can jump to the different instances in the book where that word appears, like usual. So yeah, it's the app works quite well. I mean, definitely works a lot better than Kobo's PDF app. In landscape mode, I really do like the landscape mode option. So it uses this file browser. It doesn't have like a home screen specifically, but it has just this file browser where you can jump around to the different files you have on your device. So it doesn't have like, you know, a book cover layout like you would like on your Kobo home screen, but then you got some different options on here. You can do your updates from in here, and then this is the version that it's running currently. You can install different versions, but so far it's been running pretty stable. It definitely is an improvement over the stock software. I would recommend giving it a try. I mean, it's really easy to install. You just got to use a few different steps. Like I said, I'll have the directions and the video down there. So yeah, in landscape mode, it does work quite well once you have it fit to width. And then, yeah, it's easy to read that way. I mean, obviously, it's going to depend a lot on your individual PDFs, how they're formatted, how they're laid out. It's like scanned PDFs, obviously, could be more troublesome. And just depends, you know. I mean, a lot of them have different layouts. So like I said, you can hold down on here and use the dictionary option. I don't have one installed at the moment. And you can add the highlights from here as well. Do searches, so you've got the on-screen features like that. Sometimes the highlighting, it's not as smooth as it could be, or sometimes it'll like trigger the page turn instead. But I mean, it does work. It is functional. It's definitely an improvement over the stock software. So it's worth trying out if you use PDFs a lot on your device. Definitely add some new functionality to the Kobo Aura 1 that I do like. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to wrap up this video right here. Have a good day.